Yeah. I was like, what?
No, you know 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲 also, ah?
Yeah.
The whole internet, the whole Facebook world know him now. Largest crowd, 20,000. Okay, we are live. So time to share our posts on our personal walls.
All right.
Okay, let me go to share.
4 different professionals, all specializing in different topics to assist the SME community. So if you are SME, you need to get out of this brink of destruction. It's time to come and tune in to our show, Cut, Change and Challenge for today. But first, let me share my video on my personal page first.
Okay. I'm also doing that.
We'll get started right away. 4 professionals on Cut, Change and Challenge. Okay, done. Very good. And the recent news we all know, Hertz being the largest car rental company in the US, filed for bankruptcy. 16,000 people working for the company now have no job. I think this is not the only company that is going to end up with no business to do. I think more and more will come to hit the market. Of course, US is one of those big guys that has a lot of overheads, and because they never changed the business model over the years, and then got disruptors like Uber and Lyft in the US. Lyft is not here, so it starts to take over some of the market share. Now I find it a bit sad because let's say big company like Hertz, they die, so they bring along the supply chain. First of all, the automotive company that supply them will also kena because they cannot sell car now. Then because they fire 16,000 people, they got a lot of stocks, have to liquidate those cars, which means thousands of cars is going to be flooded into the pre-owned market, and it's going to throw price to just dispose of these assets. So how are you going to sell your car when the other guy selling the car 30% cheaper than you? So there's going to be a big problem there. But it's necessary that we understand that business is very tough right now, and we have to cut, change, and challenge. That's why we came up with these topics. 4 different professionals from different disciplines to share our expertise, experience to bring you out of this crisis. And I think, hey, hi Alex, welcome. And see your wife. Okay, and that will be an interesting topic that we have today. Let me check with my team whether blasted on my Facebook profiles. Okay, so we're going to start with something simple. Let's do a quick survey today. How many of you here today have seen at least one of our shows? Either one. If you have seen either one of our shows, please type the word yes. If you have never seen 4 of us doing any Facebook Live, please type no. Okay, so let's do a quick survey. Have you seen any of us? Yes. No means no. So you've seen some of the shows, please in the comment box type yes. If this is the first time you're here seeing us for the first time, just type no. That means you have not seen before. And we're here today to cari makan. You know why this topic is important? Because this morning I was with a foreign company doing consulting work for the management team. And one thing I actually share with them is you have to have thick face to ask for the business. Because if you don't have thick face to ask for the business, you're not going to get the business because people assume that you don't want, you're not so keen, not so sincere, not so hardcore for it, and they just don't care. So we have to change the mindset where if you want the business, ask for it. I did another coaching earlier with a logistic company, same thing also. I asked them to talk to the owners that they serve, right? What can I do to earn your business? So that is a very important question. We have to lower the ego, throw away our past experiences, and just let people know I want to cari makan. So that's why we start with it. 4 of us actually are here to cari makan.
Cari makan.
But first, let me have to give you some values, share with you some secret. So let's start with my first question for tonight. So businesses cannot grow right now, cannot even survive, cannot even hire people. But what is the first thing they must do? I recommend them to cut unnecessary expenses out. So with that, I'd like to throw the first questions to Lily, the cut specialist. Okay. What are the 3 most important things the company must cut right away in order to conserve cash?
Okay, thank you, Hanzo. All right. So I am an accountant, and over this MCO period, I have worked with my clients and also the public. We have done over 100 financial projections. The purpose of us doing these financial projections is that we want to know exactly where to cut and how much to cut, not simply cut. Yeah. So what we work with them is getting their numbers, looking into their costs, and most importantly, looking into their break-even numbers, and then so that we know exactly cut how much, then only you can tide through or survive. Yeah. So let me bring you to some slides that I've prepared. In these slides, I'm going to share a case study, because at the end of March, okay, this client that we did for them, they took action very early. Yeah, before end of March, they already know that they needed to cut because they have a big overhead. So I'd like to share screen, share with you.
This is a very important slide because you don't know how much cash you can survive. You're going to do all the wrong cash projection, and you may not be able to do many things. So very important.
Yep. Okay. Are you able to see my slides? Okay. Right. Okay, this is our team of accountants in the office. Ingenious vision is that every SME can become large. But because of this COVID-19, I think every SME must survive first before they can become large. Becoming large is secondary already. Okay, let's look at a real case study that InTune has done for one of our clients. Okay, this client is in the building industry, construction, interior design, and building industry. So when they came to us, sometime when the MCO started, they cannot tahan. My overhead, right, for a month is 250,000. Yeah. And then because I'm in the construction industry, I cannot do work from home. There is no way I can build from home. There's no billing, there is no cash. So what am I going to do? So we sit down with them, we look at their numbers. So these were their numbers before MCO. The total cost per month is about 250,000. And then we zoom into the 3 big areas which take up this cost. Number 1 is their worker cost. Their casual workers, 175,000. Number 2 is their office staffs, 50,000. And number 3, line rental, office rental, factory, etc., 21,000, etc. 250,000 a month. So when we went in, what we did with them is that we get a lawyer to come in as well. We get a lawyer to come in. We do employee cost optimization, because obviously based on this slide, the biggest cost is workers. We needed to handle that. And then during MCO, what we did is that we managed to bring down the workers' cost from 175,000 a month to 20,000. So basically what we were doing is that we are keeping everybody, just feeding everybody to tide through this period. Yeah. And then next we look at office staff. Yeah. Some office staff could still do work from home, to do up their project papers. So we pay them accordingly to their productivity. Some of them we pay them 1 day's work, or sometimes 2 days work, etc. And then of course the rental, etc. we ask for discounts and all. So all in all, during MCO, 31st March, we immediately reduced the total cost to just 62,000 a month from 264,000. Okay. Now the MCO is slowly being lifted. MCO lah. Slowly, the sites are open, etc. Can slowly get back to work. Yeah. Still, we needed to reduce the cost because based on the economic that is currently. So we have already, the client has already, expecting lower sales, some cancellation of jobs, etc. So from 264 now, MCO, we reduce it by half already. Yeah. So I would like to focus on the 3 areas we did cost cutting from them. So luckily, this cost cutting started on 1st of April. Not so chalat. We didn't have to pay, the full 200 million in the month of April during the MCO. Okay, for example, going into detail. Okay, so what we did exactly with them, the advice of the lawyers, so that we ensure we comply with industrial relations and the code of corporate harmony, is that we change all the daily workers and outsourced workers. We change them as buffers. Yeah. And then we reduce workers or reduce work days to 4 days per week instead of 6 days per week. So, for example, some people only get 1 day pay per week. Some get 2 day pay per week. Some get 3, depending on what type of work they do. So totally no work, we pay them 1 day a day to just to keep them to feed them. Yeah. And no overtime. Now after MCO, there's no overtime. We make full use of our normal working hours because overtime is 1.5 times the rate. And then we advise the client to use the 1-2-3 mentality versus the 3-2-1 mentality. This one we learn it from the Big Four. In the Big Four, we were given an option. One person get 2 persons pay, do 3 persons job. Yeah. Some companies, 3 person get 2 persons pay, do 1 person's job. So in times like this, right, we tell all the workers that everyone has got to work harder so that we can take care of ourselves. Yeah, that means being more productive lah. Okay. So in terms of staff salaries, like I said, during MCO, we really cut down to minimal based on what they do, work from home. And then after MCO, we bring it up. We created an option plan for them to take a pay cut across board for 12 months, or they can have an option to go on contract for 6 months, 6 months contract. And then the finance team, the HR team, 4 people, now down to just 1 in-house. And then the rest of the work is outsourced to InTune. So the finance cost is reduced from 18K to 12K per month. And during that period of time, because we can't do much work, so we get them the online accounting system, we build the foundations, and then we are preparing ourselves to, for the future when it gets busy, because now during MCO it was so free, so we did all this foundation work lah. So there were a few other things that we work with the client to implement. Mainly is to outsource even their workers, etc., to outsource, because even with outsourcing there is a 30 days credit term. Yeah, and we apply all the wage subsidy, etc. So yeah, so when we work on a cost cutting, we uses a financial tool that can give us instant financial plan. From the instant plan, we are able to see where to cut, how much to cut, only enough. If simply cut or don't cut enough, also cannot. So for those that is not in, that they needed money to tie through just a period of time of tight cash flow, we also introduce them to SME loans, etc. Yeah. And then for those that need to pivot their business from offline to online, we go to Grandmaster Hanzo, Sales Ninja, can help them to do that. And then we look at all the government subsidies that is available. We apply everything that is possible. Yeah, everything that is possible that the government is providing, make full use of all the help that is given. So this is a real case study that we have done. So like I mentioned just now, in doing that, we have an instant financial tool. So nowadays, right, everybody like things instant. I want it now. I want it now. I want to know the results now. But if I cut here, what is the results now? So what we did was we created a tool that can give instant results that help us in our financial coaching when we were advising the client. Okay, I'm going to put up an Excel worksheet here. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to put out an Excel worksheet. Let's see. Okay. So this is the financial modeling tool, which can give instant results. So in this one sheet, we entered some of this information, like the sales per month during MCO, how much they are able to sell. After MCO, situation is still very slow. There is still expected 50% drop in sales, etc. And then we put in all the costs. Of course, here for simplicity, we just down it to just 3 types of costs. And then it is normal cost and cost cutting and a few other variables at the bottom. So what I wanted to demonstrate with you is that, so we work with the business owner instantly. So this is a situation if they don't cut costs. If this client don't cut costs, this will how the cash flow would look like. Because they have got some cash in the bank, in the first month, still can tahan. If you look at this cash balance, still got money. But the cash will run out in 3 months' time, meaning they only have 3 months runway if they don't do something about it. So when we see situations like this, we will say, okay, you better go and take a loan quickly. Yeah. So, and then this is the break-even line. Yeah. Anything below this break-even line means cash already negative already. So when we put in all the cost-cutting measures, and in this case, we assume a 13% cost, look at how the situation differs. Yes, look at the cash flow. So immediately, because cost is something within our control, which we can cut almost immediately. Yeah. So immediately when we can cut costs, this is how the cash flow would look like. There is not a month that it won't go to negative if we act fast and cut quickly and cut enough. So in each of these exercises, we will actually simulate multiple scenarios with our client. If I cut 10%, I'll go. Then we do the simulation. Okay, not enough. If I cut 20%, is it enough? If not enough, then how much should I cut? So we do this, we use this tool to simulate instant results. And then what is a very important point, if for those who haven't watched our previous sharing on break-even, so break-even is the most important point. So in this business, right, this is what we tell the client. If you don't cut, minimum 1 month, you must collect 108,000 cash. Then only you can cover all your costs. But if you take a 30% cut across board, you only need to collect 75,000 to be able to ngam ho. So these are some of the things that we work through with our client: financial projection, where to cut, how to cut, and we give a financial coaching as well, and also pointing them to the right direction. Okay, you should go and take a loan. You should go and apply all the subsidies, etc. Yeah, I think that's all my sharing, Hanzo.
Fantastic. So just curious, how many of you know what she just talked about? So if you're not from financial background and looking at Excel sheets with a lot of numbers, right? It's a pain for micro and small, medium businesses. Even for large one, right? The boss only one dashboards. Most of the things is done by the finance people. And that's why it's important to outsource financial work to the professionals. So I heard you have a workshop coming on, right?
Yes, I do. For myself, I do a one-to-one coaching. Later, we'll put out a link for people to, sign up. Yes, our workshop will be, at the moment we are doing one-to-one because we have done a public one before. In the public workshop, like everyone wants to share their financial. Okay, I think I better not tell. It is a bit. I find that people find it a bit weird, to share their company financial information. Then I find that okay, it's not working. I think on financial money things, because I ask sensitive questions. Tell me how much you have in your bank account. I cannot share that. Yeah. So now I do personal one-on-one financial coaching with using the tool.
Great. I got a question here by Dato' William. He says, cutting costs is good, but how do we scale back up later? Okay, so Lindy's core competency is financial optimization. That's where we have cut, change, and challenge, William. So we cut first, then okay, got cash already. Then we start changing. Then after change already, we challenge. That's where we scale back up. So it's a 𝗲𝗧𝗧𝗧, it's a phase that we go through as business owners. And that's why we move to the second part. Now we cut already. So we have some conserve cash. And next thing I want to talk about today is how do we raise funds fast? How do we get money into a bank account without the help of banks? What other alternative ways are there for a business owner to raise funds? Because I get this question all the time. You know, Hanzo, customers don't pay me, I cash flow problem. Banks don't want to borrow me. Bank say finish, SRF finish already. So move me to AES. AES also don't know what is it. AES sounds like a camera. So after that, they are stuck. So that's where I want to move to topic number 2, still in the cutting. How do you raise funds fast? But quick survey, how many of you here wants more money? So you want more money, okay? So if you want more money, please type the word 8. That means you need more cash in your business and in your life. Please type the number 8. Okay, so I will start off by typing because I want more money, man. I want more cash. I want more cash injection. I want investors. I want people to buy out my companies. Hey, I want all those things. So if you are also like me, you want more cash, please type the number 8. That is the second topic. How do you raise funds without borrowing money from the banks? Okay, and that's the second topic. So a lot of people so wants cash. Jennifer wants cash. John wants cash. Jocelyn wants cash. Good. So this topic is for you. Okay. So with that, I'll move to William. How do we raise funds without the help of the banks? Where do we get money?
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Hanzo, for inviting me to do this session with all the gurus, 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗃 professionals. Okay, I've done 50 over coaching sessions over the last 2 months. Okay, I stopped on the 12th of May because that's the day I tell everyone, my team, my partners, from 13 onwards, we are not on MCO mode anymore because MCO mode is very depressing. MCO mode is very demotivating. Everybody is using MCO for many reasons, many excuses for not moving on, for not paying fees. Okay, so from 13 May onwards, okay, we started to go on the pre-MCO mode. That means everything we do, we will drop the MCO word. Okay, in terms of our engagement, in terms of our fees, and also how we help clients. Okay, so and we noticed that when we go on that mode, clients, we also manage to influence them, and they also say, yeah, I think you're right, let's go on a full mode. Okay, so when it comes to fundraising, okay, there's 2 sides of the coin. One, entrepreneurs will find it very hard to raise money now because the market is bad. Okay, but if you look at investor perspective, okay, I have a few calls over the last 2 weeks. Okay, if you are managing people's money, okay, fund manager, asset managers, you will get worried as well because for the last 5 months or 6 months, you have not invested any money. Okay, and your investor, those people who put money in your fund, might do a capital call. Hey, why not I take my money back? I can invest myself. Okay, so there's always 2 sides of the coin. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, okay, there's never a good or bad timing. It's whether you want to do it or not. Okay, so over the last 2 weeks, okay, since May 13, I managed to sign new deals already. Okay, and the engagement is actually based on pre-MCO terms and fees. Okay, and clients are already back into that mode to say that, okay, let's go for it. Okay, so back to Hanzo's question, how do you raise money now? And how do you raise money fast? Okay, I think fast is the key word. Okay, and if you look at the market now, okay, the fastest way to raise money is go to those people who have done business with you, your business associate, your existing investors, okay, your customer, your supplier. Okay, so let's start with your existing investors. Okay, if you have already investors and for the last few months you have shown that to your investors that you have done a lot despite the MCO or despite COVID-19, they will feel that yes, this is the right company. I will continue to support this company. Okay, then next, when you have run out of resources, when the bank don't borrow you, next you might consider your supplier or your customer, because number one, your supplier has done business with you, and if you go bust or if you go down, they will lose a customer, right? And if you look at your customer perspective, if your customer has been engaging you, and if you are in B2B business, okay, your customer need your service or your products so that they can produce their product or services, okay? So this is a time where you can actually reach out to your supplier and customer and say that, hey, this is the situation and I need funds, I want to grow my business. Are you in with me or not, okay? Right, so these are the first two, and the third one is all your business associates, your business partners, those who have done deals with you, those who are your agents, okay, and your distributors, okay. So these are the people who say yes. Everybody is looking for a leader. Everybody is looking for a driver, okay. So if you can take the lead, I'm sure there's a lot of people are willing to bet on the right horse to move forward, because I listened to a webinar 2 days ago, and the speaker speaks one point that keeps ringing in my mind, okay? After every crisis, there will be a climax, okay? So can you imagine that, okay? If everybody stop investing, where the money goes? The money will stay in the bank, okay? And every investment guru will tell you, if the money is in the bank, means you're losing money, okay? Because inflation now, especially now, okay, is growing faster than the interest rate, okay? The second, I tuned into 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗧𝗹𝗹𝗶 webinar yesterday. So there's a Chinese guy sharing about the China situation. Okay, they said for the last 4 months or 5 months, Chinese deficit has reached almost +1 trillion renminbi. So he forecast that after the MCO, after the lockdown, either they'll invest or they'll spend their money. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, this is the right time for you to leverage on all these assets or savings in a bank account. And when the market turns, your product, your service are there, okay, to tap on. And you tell investors, okay, this is the best time to raise money and expand my product and services, okay. You cannot tell investors, okay, I want to maintain status quo, okay. In this world, there's only up. Either you go up or you go down, okay. You can't maintain status quo. All right. So the only way is to be aggressive, okay, not defensive. Okay. So investors like to hear all this. Investor wants to bet on the right horse. Investor wants to bet like people like Hanzo with full of energy, full of passion, right? Because nobody wants to wake up and talk to someone and say, oh shit, today is bad. My client don't pay me. Market is bad. Landlord asking for payment. So investor wants to listen to nice tune. Oh, I got this sales. Wow, I got all this. I just closed a deal. Okay, so these are the signs that you must show to investors. Okay, all right. So if you look at how, okay, I can share a few screens which I have done for various workshops over the last few days or few weeks. Sorry. Let me see. Hanzo, can I press the share screen? How do I share screen?
Can you just press share screen, and then the screen will pop up on my side. I will put it into the screen now. So if you got question about cutting costs, you can pop to Lily. You got question about fundraising, corporate finance, mergers, acquisitions. Those are William's specialty.
Okay, can you see the slides now?
Can. Okay, slides up already, William.
Okay, so this is what I always tell people, okay? For every entrepreneur, money is never enough, okay? Regardless of your stages, regardless your startups or growth stage or even mature companies, you need more money. Everybody need to raise new money, okay? If you look at banks, if you look at telco companies, okay, unicorns especially, billions and billions pour into unicorns. So where's the end? Okay, so after a few blunders done by all these unicorn, now investors are back to basic. Okay, show me sales, show me your customer. Who are your customers? How can you reach your customers. Okay, so if you keep selling big stories like the market is big, my market is huge, there's so many people waiting to sign up my service or buy my products, you need to justify where. Okay, and for to raise money fast and effective now, okay, number one, you need to know what is the objective. Okay, so for example, here I still read one. There's only two ways. Okay, one, you need to raise money to survive. Okay, to save your business. Second, you need to grow your company, and you need to grow it fast. You can acquire business. There's so many distressed companies out there now. You can buy away your competitors so you can grow your market share quickly and expand to new market. Right? So these are the rationale to tell investors. Okay, of course, when you raise money, even though you are trying to raise money to survive, you must portray a growth story. Okay, your equity story. How do you grow your business? Okay. Right, next, and where's the money? Okay, so like I mentioned just now, okay, the triple F is always there, so look out for it. And to be very focused, okay, look out for your business associate, your strategic partners, those who have done business with you, like your supplier and customers. Okay, equity crowdfunding platform is quite active nowadays, especially the for fundraise below 1 to 2 million. Okay, and of course P2P lending. So these are fast for personal loan. Also, if you need a little capital, then P2P lending platform will be right for you. And the rest are typical venture cap, PE and hedge fund, okay, family office and FIs. Okay, so in a nutshell, okay, what you need to do, okay, number one, ask yourself, are you ready? All right, is your term sheet ready? Is your financial statement ready? Is your audit or management account ready? Because if you don't have all these documents, okay, you will delay the process. Okay, and of course, if you have those documents in place, you need to show investor your ambition and drive. What's your story? Who are your board, your management team? Okay, your structure, your financial information, past, present, future. All right. Okay, and I think more importantly is how do you manage your investors? Okay, what's the exit strategy for them? Is it short term, mid term, or long term? State it clearly to investors. Okay, if you need the bridging loan to help you to pass through these 3 months, state there the exit is within 6 months and how do you repay them. Okay, so make sure you're very clear. And I notice a lot of entrepreneurs always make one mistake. Okay, whenever I ask them how much you want to raise, there's never a straightforward answer. They always tell me, let me think about it. Oh, I haven't figured it out yet. So they are always uncertain. Okay, so this is the fundamental no, because if I'm an investor, I say, hey, why are you wasting my time? You can't even know how much you need, how much you want. Okay, so I think that every entrepreneur must be very clear. Okay, and always state your amount clearly and your term sheet clearly. Okay, a lot of people always say, oh, let's discuss when we are ready. Okay, but investors are pampered with choice nowadays. Okay, those with cash are flooded with deals. Okay, so you need to be very sure how much you need, why you need it, and what is the exit for investors. Okay, I think with all these key pointers in place, there's no guarantee that you can raise fund, but it increases your chances of closing the deal. Okay, so try your best to portray that, and of course learn from Hanzo the energy, and that will attract investors by itself. Okay, that's all for my sharing.
Very good, very good. If anyone interested to buy my company, always for sale.
Now you will buy the company. That's very important.
I am the company. Okay, so very good. Now, if you wanna, so far what we have discovered is gotta conserve your cash. Gotta know how much cash flow you have to sustain for how many months, where to cut, how to cut. And next thing is you gotta raise funds from all kinds of channels. And I like the saying where people want to raise funds, don't even know the amount. It's like I ask a salesperson, right? What do you want to achieve? How much you want to earn? As much as possible. It's not a good answer. You gotta be specific. How much do you want? It's like a sales director asking the sales staff, how much can you bring in this week? As much as possible, boss. It's not a good answer. So basic communication skill and target setting, you got to be specific, you got to be measurable, you got to have a number in mind. After we have some cash, we raise some money. Now we're like, whew, I can survive this. How do I cari makan? So work from home is a new norm. My company right now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is working, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is working from home. Now, a lot of companies, like even though this morning I was with a public listed company, and I shared with them a new sales strategy. But this new sales strategy requires them to change the KPI because I give them a new task. And they're like, they got stuck halfway because they don't think they want to do it and they don't know how to do it. So I'm going to get a KPI specialist here to tackle this scenario. You want, for example, one of the strategy we always share with our clients is get the whole company to sell. Let's say you got only 10 salespeople, but you got 50 staff. So you got 50 salespeople technically, And how do you turn all 50 into salespeople? And that's where I come in. But in order to do that, you need to change the infrastructure. And I always recommend my clients, you got to operationalize and formalize it. If you formalize, people will take it seriously. If you just communicate, people are not going to do it because this one doesn't affect my KPI, doesn't affect my bonus. What's the point? Okay, so with a KPI specialist, Wilson, please comment on how companies can change their KPI to fit into the new norm, and what kind of KPIs can they set for the new norm. And for micro and SME, you don't know what is KPI, so I think Wilson will also explain to you first what is KPI. So Wilson, all yours.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much, Hanzo, for giving me this opportunity to share. I've been sharing a lot during this 3 months MCO period. I've been organizing a lot of webinar almost every week. We're more than 30 webinar. Okay, so let's understand what is KPI first. A lot of people, they have a misperception on KPI. I still remember when we had our exhibition at the KCC. Hanzo was there also. So one of the guys come to me and say, "What are you doing?" I told her that, okay, we are KPI specialists. You know what her reaction? She said, "Wow, scary." So when you mention KPI to the employee, in their mind is, yeah, I think my boss want to catch me. My boss want to come and catch my mistake. Right? So to some employee, even to the extent that my boss want to catch my mistakes so that they do not need to give me bonus. That is a wrong perception. Right? So I even heard from a boss saying that, a boss himself is saying that, hey, I think this year we do not want to do year and appraisal. I said, why you don't want to do it? Because I worry, all my employees so high, I have no money to pay bonus. How can I go to answer to all my employees? Oh, something wrong, right? So the bosses are worried to have KPI, and the employee also worry about KPI. Why? It's because people have a wrong understanding of KPI. Why KPI? Okay, KPI is for you to, like Hanzo said, ask for it. If you want, you ask for it. Okay, what you want your employee to do? You have a company vision, right? You want to be the number one. When you tell your investor, when you tell William, right? You have to be very inspiring vision, right? William, I want to be number one in Malaysia in 5 years' time. I want to be number one in Asia in 10 years' time, for example, right? William, okay. But when you say you're number one, how can you justify you're number one, right? Based on what? You can say you're number one, but your competitor, your customer may not agree with you. You say number one. Next thing is you need to do is you need to list down how do you measure number one? How do you justify number one? Based on what? Based on revenue? Based on number of clients? Based on locations or what? So you have to justify that. Once you have the vision, when you have the goal, then you need to tell your employee, this is our company vision and these are our goals. I want you to be part of it. You need to inspire your employee. You need to manage your employee. You need to tell them, okay, I need your help. Without you all, we cannot achieve our vision. No way we can move toward our goals. So I need your help. So KPI is for you to move from point A to point B. Meaning that let's say you're making 10 million now. You want to make 20 million, point A to point B. That's a gap. So the gap is the area that you need to address. That is how you do cascading, from your corporate goal to the departmental goal to the employees' goal. So what I'm going to share with you just a very, very briefly how to do KPI. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen now. Just a moment. Okay, I share screen. Okay. So once Hanzo enabled it, then you can see. Okay, good. So just very simple. A lot of company, especially SME, right? You do not know how to set KPI. It's very simple. I just show you a very, very simple way. For example, you have already set your goal for this year. You have to let's say cash flow, revenue, profitability, quality, efficiency, customer satisfaction. You have all these goals, right? So I just pick one example here. Now everyone talk about cash flow. A lot of people don't understand. They cannot align the KPI to the corporate goal, right? Cannot align, cannot think. What should I set for my employee? How do I align the employee direction, right? So very simple. I show you example here. Cash flow. If you want to achieve a cash flow, then what your finance department should do, right? Your finance department should talk to your supplier in terms of payment terms. This is what Lily can help you, right? So you set the KPI that you should do. Then you need to talk to bank, talk to investor, and so on. Financial department. Then how about sales department? Sales department, you need to make sure you negotiate the payment term with your customer to make sure you have correction on time, right? Sales department. Then how about purchasing department? Purchasing department, you need to talk to the supplier to negotiate the price of the raw material or the goods. Okay. Operation department. Operation department, you need to make sure your processing time, the processing time, how fast you produce. Because if you produce slow, you will not able to deliver to customer, and your customer will not pay you. You only get your payment when you deliver. After you deliver, you have to make sure your product are quality. You don't deliver a wrong product. You don't deliver a defects product. Easy. How about logistic department? Okay, logistic. So logistic, how fast you deliver is the quality also. Okay, warehouse, the stock control. How you control your stock? Is it overstock or understock? If you do not have enough stock, then how are you going to sell? You cannot sell, you cannot get money, right? If you overstock, all your cash is stuck in the stock, right? So it is so simple that you just set your goal. Okay, set your goal, and from your goal, you define for each department then what you should do in order to help the company to achieve the cash flow that you want. This is just one of the example. I'm not able to show you everything. It's KPI. Can be very complex, can be applied to many different departments. KPI doesn't mean only for sales, okay? It can be for any department. So for now, if you want to get to know more, you can, Hanzo going to share with you. You come to our webinar on this Saturday. It's a free webinar. We are here to help the SME, so you can talk to us later. We also have a QR code here. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now. What I want to do is, instead of sharing too much, I want to hear from the floor, or maybe from Hanzo, what are the questions, so that it is more relevant to you. If I want to talk about KPI, I can talk to you over 2 hours. You're bored to die, you see. So I just want to know what you want to know. Very simple. If you have a vision, if you have a goal, first thing, you need to have a good leadership, right? You need to lead your team. You need to get your HOD. They need to believe in what you believe. Okay, they are here for you. They follow you. They are not here for your money. If they are here for your money, you're not inspiring leader. You need to inspire your team, and you need to get your team to understand what is KPI. Why KPI is so important? How they can help the company to grow, right? How they can contribute. Then eventually, then you reward your employee when your company make money. Then how can you reward your employee fairly? That is the point, right? So over to you, Hanzo. If you have any more questions, I'm more than happy to share here.
What is the necessary KPI for people working from home? So for example, I got a question. So for example, one of my KPI is all my messages, emails must be replied in 1 hour. Okay, is that a KPI? And if it's not a KPI, and how do I improve this KPI?
Okay, so for example, KPI, you need to come from the very broad view. You have to come from the corporate objective first. maybe first thing, your objective is to achieve customer satisfaction. Okay, that is a corporate goal. In order for you to achieve customer satisfaction or customer retention, then you need to sit down with all your employees, all your HOD to understand how you can help the company to achieve customer satisfaction. So what you mentioned here, response time is just one of the elements. That is what we call leading KPI. Leading KPI. We have two types of KPI. One is lagging KPI. One is leading KPI. Lagging KPI is the end result. What you want to achieve. What you want to achieve is to achieve customer satisfaction, right? So in order for you to achieve the customer satisfaction, you need to have a list of leading KPI. For example, especially for junior people, right? Junior people, yes, you need to have a leading KPI. For example, your response time had to be, within 1 hour. For example, the day I called, last time I called to Agoda, Agoda. So Agoda responded very fast. So every now and then I share to a lot of people, Agoda has a fantastic service, customer service. That is response time, very important. So for the more senior people, then you less focus on the detail, right? For the more junior, you need to define more leading KPI, more detailed KPI.
Okay, so come from, I think my understanding is come from a big picture, know the objective, set the KPI to measure it to achieve the key objective. Very good. I got one question here for you. Yep. How do you set KPI? Must KPIs be realistic? Okay, this is back to the fundamental. A lot of people know SMART, right? SMART, S-M-A-R-T. S stands for specific. You need to be very, very specific. Okay, you need to be specific. M is measurable. You have to be measurable. There are 3 ways to measure. You measure by number, by percentage, or by dollar. You choose one. There's only these 3. Okay, number, percentage, dollar. S-M-A. A is attainable, have to be reasonable. So you don't set something that you yourself don't believe. You set a vision, you yourself don't believe, it doesn't work. It just as a paper on the wall, right? So had to be S-M-A-R-T, relevant, had to be relevant to what the person's doing, relevant to what your company doing, and had to be time-based, S-M-A-R-T, right? Okay, specific is very important, I give you one example. There's one company that's selling property. Okay, the marketing director, I asked him, what is your KPI? He said, oh, okay, my KPI is to generate 100 new leads per month. Is it specific enough or not? No, not really. You know why? There's a loophole. For example, one day I go to a showroom, okay, you need 100 leads, right? What your salespeople will do? They say, okay, Wilson, welcome, I welcome your family to join this showroom. I have a KPI, I need to collect names, Can you ask your daughter, your son, your grandmother, your grandfather to fill in the form for me? I need 10 today. Yeah, I check my KPI. Yeah, I have 10 lists. Boss, this is my list. But it got rubbish, right? Because it is not specific. In order to be specific, you need to spell it out. Okay, I need to have a lead between 40 to 60, for example, 40, 60, or maybe married couple or investor income level, you have to define that. If you don't define that, people will find loophole. Right, so need to be very, very specific. Okay, had to be realistic. Yes, had to be realistic. Good. But sometimes business owners don't set realistic target. No, they set visionary target. Okay, but now I want me to share one thing with you. Sure. I met a client before the MCO. I asked him, "What is your vision?" I always ask the customer, "What's your vision?" He said, "I want to be the world #1." Okay. Do you know how to achieve that? I don't know. Do you know who are the competitors in the world? There are a lot, hundreds, thousands. Then how are you going to be #1 in the world? I don't know, because the previous consultant asked me to do set #1. I said #1. Then what's the point? You're setting your vision as world #1. Then you yourself don't know how to achieve it, right? You have to set the vision that you yourself believe you can achieve it. You must know, you must have a strategy, you must have a goal to set, to benchmark, to measure it. Then that is only realistic vision. When your vision is realistic, only your HOD believe in what you believe. If your HOD don't even believe in your vision, you can forget about your vision. That's my sharing. Very good. Or you can sell the HODs the vision and they will buy it. That's where I come in. So I think leaders have to sell. Leaders have to sell. And there are, I mean, based on this topic, right? Either you see it to believe it or you believe it to see it, right? So big entrepreneurs, they see things that normal human beings don't see. That's why they keep achieving things that normal human beings don't achieve. And my question for everyone is, how many of you here are in business right now? You are a business owner. Okay? If you're a business owner, just type 1. If you're not a business owner, please type 2. Just quick survey. Because if you're a lot of business owners, I'll give you a business strategy today. If there's a lot of salespeople, I'll give you a sales strategy today. Okay, how many business owners are there? If you're a business owner, please type 1 in the comment. If you're not, if you're line, please type 2. Okay, so let's quick survey before I give you a quick strategy for today to take home. If you're a business owner, please type 1. Not a business owner, type 2. If you're a sales leader, GM, HR, if you're analyst, please type 2. Okay, we have some business owners. Lots of them actually. Because today we talk business topic, also all the business owners start coming. Tomato 10. Wow, your nickname very, very unique. Okay. A lot of business owners. Edward, Eddie, Steven. Okay. These are all in my coaching programs. Okay, fantastic. So I'm gonna share some thoughts today. Now, this afternoon, I was consulting a public listed company. They are a chain of retailers. I cannot name you the brand, but they are retailers. They have a lot of outlets. And I want to give you today a retail example. So I like case studies because we as consultants, trainers, and coaches, we do turnarounds and transformation. And in this case, I had to transform them because turnaround simply means going down and then can boost a bit, go up. But now we have to transform them from something they are not to something they need to be. And this company has some challenges. Number one, because they are retailer, very traditional business. They open in malls, in shop lot, and those kind of places, and they wait for people to come in. And being a retailer normally is in the order taking mindset. People come in, what do you want? You want X, I give you X, pay money, smile, gone. So there are so many things that traditional retailers actually don't do. Share with you some. Number one is order taking. Instead of order taking, we must move to order making. Now, whether you are B2B or retailer is exactly the same thing. B2B is people wait for inquiry, also same thing. Wait for marketing. Marketing don't give me leads. I don't know how to do prospecting. So all this is the very traditional mindset, which you are not going to survive if you keep on having this mindset. I'm here to challenge you to change. Change the mindset. Then you change your business and sales model. Then only you implement new methods. Then you can produce new sales. So continue with the story. So retailers, first of all, order taking. So right now, I implement a new sales strategy and then new method. Retailers now must proactively approach customer. Problem number one, you can only have 3 person in your store. Unlike those days, flooded with people, you can serve many people, but now only 3 person can enter the store. Problem number one. Problem number two, there are queue out there. People waiting to scan QR code and write on the book with this germs-based pen to try to get into the store. And there's a queue out there, and there's 3 person in there. So if you are a store manager, right, what are you going to do? Are you going to focus on the 3 person inside your store to upsell, cross-sell, to service, to explain the product benefits, or you are going to serve another 3 person standing outside your door? So in this case, right, the store managers don't know how to make decisions. You know why? Because never have this problem before. Now, last time Louis Vuitton different. Louis Vuitton, you have to stand outside the door by nature because they're already practicing all these things already. Cannot so many people going scared, cannot control crowd, and no exclusivity when it's like a sardine pasar malam, right? So they're already practicing that. But now every retailer is going through this. We have no experience whatsoever. You just ask yourself, if you are the store manager, what are you going to command your troops, the retail and supervisors? Are you asking them to, okay, since these 3 already inside the store, so upsell them? Or it's like, this guy only buy small item. I don't want to name the product also. So the small item, faster pay money, get them out of the store, and then get the new customer come in. What will you do? Now that is where sales strategy and leadership comes in. And if you stand outside the door for too long, like what Alex say, later first, I just want to buy one small item, make me wait. And after that, when I drive by a mart, I will go in and buy and that's it. And then you will lose the business. This is all sales decisions that we have to make right now during COVID-19 that nobody has ever dealt before, and therefore they need training. Challenge themselves to change. Number one. Second case scenario. Because they're a retailer, traffic is slow. People are not coming because there's no one going to the mall. There's social distancing, and then you get a gun pointing to your head every single day, before you enter the mall. You go in, the owner's like, Hook. So anyway, so everybody don't want to go. Now, because there's no traffic to the mall, how are you as a retailer going to increase sales? Now, I gave them this strategy. For me, I don't like waiting, I like working. And this has never been done by a retailer before. Especially the big one. If you're one store owner, you guarantee do this one. But if you're a chain, you will never do it one. It's called door to door. Door to door means you get out of the shop, you move to a surrounding neighborhood, and you start promoting the business. Correct. This is breakthrough. This is a challenge. This is something that normal business will not do, but crisis must do. If not, buka kedai, tunggu orang datang, matilah mampus lah. So cannot have this kind of waiting mindset. Must have the working. Many people might think that this is outside the comfort zone because this crisis. If we still do the same thing as before, comfort zone, we are going to exactly get the same result and worse because of no traffic. So door to door. Now, you may think, hey, this is retail example, Hanzo. I'm B2B, I'm project sales, I'm dealer selling. Same thing one. Wait for inquiries, business come, emails come in, marketing feed you leads. Rather than working for it, door to door means what? Prospecting, hunting for leads. Yesterday I did a program. The salesperson, I asked them, you use cold calling? Yes. How many you call? I call a lot. Okay, call a lot is not a number. Like William say, like what Yusen say. I call a lot. When people say call a lot, I say die already. What is the number did you call? Give me the number. He said 15. I said, 15? 15 is a lot. Hello, 15, you can do it in 30 minutes, if nobody pick up your phone. You have one whole day to do the sales prospecting, and yet only 15. So he like, hey, like that. So I'm like, you know what is the minimum standard if you want to hunt for new business? He said, don't know. I said, minimum standard is 100 calls per day. That is where you are top level salesperson that will never go hungry because you always are the hunter mentality. 100 challenge yourself. And you're like, oh. So ladies and gentlemen, if your business is down and you're still having the fear of cold calling, scared people reject you, I think you better be scared no cash in the bank account. I don't know what kind of fear is that, of fearing that companies slam down your phone or prospects slam down your phone and reject you. I think we need to learn from babies. If you have a kid, just look at it as a motivation factor. No need to watch YouTube. Just look at your 2-year-old baby. And you know what happens? Like my son, 2 years old, the fella never give up one. He come on, you're like, hey, daddy working. You talk nicely. Don't work one. Then the fella will go his thing and then come back again. Then after that, then I'll start to grab already, right? Daddy working, daddy have to find money, Then he's like, I don't give a damn what you say, man. I want my So the face super thick one. So after that, it's like, okay, let me go around, right? And you know what happened? Then after that, we angry at him, right? Parents like, yo, little basa. Then the fella will do what? Start crying, right? And you know what happens when they cry? They win. Parents all know this one. Then it's like, okay, give you whatever you want, and then you give the milk. So they get whatever they want. Okay? Through what? Take face, persistence, never give up mindset. If a 2-year-old can have this kind of mentality, why a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old cannot do? We have to go back into the fundamental. Last point I want to share today is, in this crisis, we have to go back into the Soushin mindset. Soushin is a Japanese martial art terminology. That means beginner's mind. Soushin is martial art term lah. We come from martial arts. Beginner's mind means what? You're no longer 25 years in business. You're no longer 15 years of sales experience. You now have 0. You're no longer a 100 years old company. You are 0. You know why this mindset is important? Because if you don't have this mindset of starting from 0, you're going to be wiped out by people that's going to start from 0 because they're hungry. That's why you see every crisis in the history always get disrupted by startup companies. Somebody is going to come from 0 and then I'm going to try to innovate something to kill you. And these big companies, 100 years old, can go bust one, you know. So many already. Hertz is the latest story now. 16,000 employees. Smart people working in a company. But died. Kodak died. Nokia died. So all these companies have unlimited resources. They can borrow any money from the bank. They got so many assets can pledge, but yet can still die. Why? Because don't have the Soushin mindset, startup mentality. So if we want to survive this crisis, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to challenge you that go from 0. If you were to start your business again, what are you going to do differently now? If you are a salesperson, go back into basic. If you are starting a new sales career right now, what kind of energy would you have? How many calls are you going to make? Who are you going to impress to get the job? But many senior salespeople will go into complacent. Oh, selling for 15 years already lah, 20 years already lah, don't really care lah. And that's why no sales. That's why when I recommend the door-to-door strategy to retailer, they got shocked, they want to die, almost cannot breathe. I almost want to do CPR over Zoom, because they have never done it before. So this is the challenge mentality, Soushin mindset. Start from 0. Go back into fundamentals. What is fundamentals? We buy necessities, correct? We don't buy luxuries, we don't go suddenly go and shopping for Rolex. We go buy necessities. Buy milk, bread, maybe some clothes that pecah already. We don't actually go into that kind of mode. So what is that? Soushin mindset. Start from 0. Look at what is important in our life. Gratitude, happiness, health, Soushin. In business, it's the same thing. Jaga all the most essential items, and we can actually get out of this mess. And that is my challenge for us. So ladies and gentlemen, do 3 things. More, better, different. Do things more. If you make 15 calls, make sure you make 30 calls tomorrow. And do it better. Improve on the script and the skill set and challenge yourself to do things differently. And you can all get out of this crisis. In 2021, I'm going to invite all my customers into a giant ballroom hotel, and I'm going to celebrate. And my speech is going to be like, I survived 2020. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming. I want to place some links for you for today to take home. 1 hour already. Got to limit it because don't want to do too long. Okay, what we have to offer. We all 4 professionals here, cari makan. So we're going to give you some links. So these links will be channeled to respective programs. So the first one, we have Lily providing you with financial consultants for financial coaching on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah.
So Alex will paste the link. So that's on coaching. If you want to know how to cut, what to cut, that will be the right program for you. Number 2, if you want to know how to raise funds, get cash without the banks, then William will be the perfect guy for you. So all of us do workshops. Now workshop means you have to work. So that's called workshop. Okay, fundraising 1 June. There's a 1st of June. So that's the link. And it will give you a perspective on how to raise more money. And you will learn more jargons like M&As and equity, which I learned many years ago, which is quite good, to have this kind of knowledge that you can mix with almost anybody. Okay, so the link, promo, 99 ringgit only for Lily's coaching, 99 bucks. What can you do with 99 bucks? A dinner with your family or some skill sets to last you until 2020. That will be an important distinction, right? Next, we have KPI programs coming up by Wilson. This is an important program for companies that don't know how to set KPIs, how to structure KPIs, and simply set KPIs. So it's like Lydia, simply cut, cannot. You must properly structure your KPI systems. That will be the workshop. We have pasted the link there. And lastly will be my sites. I'm doing a program called the Unconventional Sales Strategies. In there got 20 sales strategies of how companies can restructure their sales department and challenge themselves to do things they have never done before. I see a lot of Mandarin words coming up. I'm so sorry. 我不会讲呢，可以听。
苏信
Oh, Soshin is, this is direct translation.
Yeah,
Soshin,
direct translation.
Soshin is spelled like that. Soshin is actually a Zen one lah. Martial art, Japanese martial art, all influenced by Buddhism one. So got Zen element one. A beginner's mind. You don't like to link with religion? Start up mind. Also start with S. Also boleh one. Start up mentality. If you were to start a new company today, what are you going to do? That's going to disrupt the whole market. Like I want to start a new business right now. Okay, it's digital agency, and which I want to start from zero and disrupt the digital agency market. So that is Soshin mindset. Start from zero. Okay, so that's my workshop. You can sign up. It's free of charge. It's a preview lah. Okay, that we come in to share with you what the 20 strategy is all about. Then you can make a decision to join, not to join. And then after that, we have the financial projection, instant financial cash flow projections, where tekan a few buttons, you will know whether you can last until year end or not. Very interesting. Okay. And also on KPI settings, I strongly believe in KPIs. You got to have that in place, or else the company will be simply lari left and right. And lastly, for fundraising, you need more cash. You need to be connected with people who know how to raise funds. And if you want to have even more money into your company, you need to mix with people who knows how to get money lah. Okay, and no company ever tell the bank, I have enough money. No company will ever tell investor, don't put so much money into my bank account. I have enough. They will always raise more funds. That's why listed companies always issue more shares, even though they already have tons of money. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have to offer to you today. Please choose your respective links. You can sign up for all 4 if you want, and we will see you in our programs for breakthroughs. For I mean, pivot is like a new word that everybody use, so I don't want to use that. I'll just say that survive this crisis first lah. Then only talk about pivot lah. Okay, many people can't even survive. You will see more and more. I just did a video on bubble tea. So many die already. Okay, so survive. After you survive, we can succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my message. Any guys, you got anything to say to the audience? Let's start with Lily. Ladies first.
Okay, so I think my parting words would be, get your numbers on track, because when I was doing the financial projections, many people actually do numbers. Yeah, so I was wondering, okay, how have you been managing your business? Because even if you drive a car, you were driving a car, you also got the car dashboard, you know how much petrol you have, how fast you're going when you service your car. So, but you are driving a business and you don't have your financial numbers, that is the first time, I think the first thing that you need to put in place lah. Driving a business, must look at numbers, don't simply drive. Later, no petrol also you don't know, or your business needs servicing also you don't know. Yeah, so keep that in check, and that will also guide you to survive this through by really looking at your numbers.
That's great. Look at numbers, So very, very important. Let's just now move with William.
Yes, I resonated with Lily's comment. Start with the numbers, because a lot of people, when they want to raise money, they don't know how much they actually need. Okay, so be very focused, be very accurate. Tell investor how you're going to spend their money. Okay, whether to expand, whether to extend your production line. Okay, state it in a very clear format. The KPIs as well. Okay, the milestones. And then, of course, how to exit the investor, because they only invest for one reason, not because they are cute like Hanzo, but they want to make more money. Okay, all right, thank you very much.
And Wilson?
Okay. So imagine we are a group of friends here. I give you one address in 𝗣𝗲𝗃𝗃. Okay, we all want to go to that direction, 𝗣𝗲𝗃𝗃. I give you one address. Imagine you do not have Waze nowadays. How are you going to find that location, right? So if I give you a Waze, we all driving from our home from different direction, but we moving towards the same direction. Waze tell you to turn left, you turn left. When there is an accident, a jam, Waze will tell you to avoid that road. Then you turn to the right, right? All turn together, turn left and left together, right? So if we without the Waze, we cannot know our direction. We cannot arrive at the same destination together. That is what we call KPI. When you have your direction every week, every time you have a new strategy, you keep trying new things, keep trying, you try, fail, you keep changing. But if you are alone doing that, your employee not following you, you run very fast and you look behind, nobody behind you, then you're gone. So that's why you need KPI. You need people to follow you, right? Everything also important here. You need to look at finance. You look at the cash flow, sales, KPI. So just talk to us. We are here to help SME. Okay. My webinar on this Saturday is free. You just sign up for 1.5 hours. I guarantee you can learn a lot of things there. Okay. No obligation. Don't worry. Okay. See you guys. All the best.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you, Hanzo, and thank you, the viewers.
Bye.
So I want to leave you with one more screen.